Over 10 years later, a $1 million failed tech demo surfaces. The Epic Games Store free games pay off big, and Borderlands 3 steps up their charity game. Ray, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes. This is the game, Biscuit. And thanks for joining me. My name is Nick, and we are here taking a look at all of the big gaming news happening, and quite a few things to get into here, so let's jump right into it. First story coming to you from comicbook.com about a video game pitch that failed and actually cost $1 million. And this is an interesting one because the timing of it is in between Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit and the person that pitched it. It's always cool to see these types of stories surface way down the road when someone comes back and says, hey, this was a game that we tried to make happen, or maybe a well-known franchise. Sonic was no stranger to that as well, just to name one, or that failed Mario game on CDI that no one wants to talk about. But yeah, it's really cool to always see these stories, and this one's coming to you again from comicbook.com this actually has a tech demo, playable in-game footage that we get to see. It really went viral as people began to see what could have been an Xbox 360 title. TT Games started a pitch for The Hobbit, and this was when we already knew that The Hobbit was going to be produced by Peter Jackson. This was back in 2008, whereas the actual movie came out around 2012, something like that. So there was plenty of time in between, but there was so much hype about The Hobbit, and that someone had decided that it would be an idea that Warner Brothers actually said, hey, go ahead and develop this demo, and you can pitch it to us, and if we like it, we'll give it a shot. And so that's exactly what they did, and it just didn't work out. So this tech demo had multiple different playable levels, multiple different tech demos, and I'm going to tell you something, and this is a YouTube video showing the in-game footage from this tech demo. For a game that is 10 years old, this is incredible looking. The Xbox 360 and that entire era definitely had its gems, and this would have aged pretty nicely from what I'm looking at here. You're seeing all sorts of different locales, a lot of stealth gameplay here as Bilbo. And from what I've read, this is actually open world. There you go. I mean, the footage speaks for itself. There's only so much I can say, right? I mean, it looks epic, and it's crazy to think that a $1 million game with all of this work put into it, I can't imagine being someone on that project, and you put your heart into something like this, and it looks incredible, right? If anything, now that people are seeing this, there may be some demand, and enough demand, that maybe this game will get brought back from the vaporware graveyard, and we'll see some. Look at all of those models. That's pretty impressive for the Xbox 360. This game looks really good. Cutscenes, facial animations. You can definitely see where the money went. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, they just said in the video they spent way too much money making the demo. Yeah, they're definitely right about that. And hey, I guess they were so confident that they felt like, well, let's go ahead and go all in with it and see, how this thing turns out, right? And it didn't work out for them. But now that this is getting a lot of attention, maybe we'll see some kind of news there from that developer, TT Games, if they even still exist. I have no idea. Moving on to our next story. So the Epic Games Store hit 61 monthly active users during the Vault giveaway. Of course, the Epic Games Store made a lot of waves in the news when they announced that they were going to be doing a campaign called The Vault, where they would be giving away all sorts of high-profile AAA games. A lot of these programs where people give away free games, like games with gold, for example, on Xbox, the PS5 equivalent of that as well. Usually you're getting very dated AAA games, or you're getting something like a indie game or someone that's just looking for some exposure, right, to be offered for free. But in this case, the Epic Games Store, as you probably already know if you're a PC gamer, they really went all out with this. And as a result, they reached 61 million monthly active users during that giveaway, and 13 million peak concurrent users, especially when they first came out. And the first game I believe they offered was Grand Theft Auto 5, which, to be fair, yes, it's a dated game. I mean, it's been around for a while now. But hard to believe we haven't had a new GTA yet, but that's just the way it goes these days. But hey, this is a really cool promotion, and the Epic Game Store definitely needed a hit because there's been a lot of controversy, kind of a lot of salt from the public about what they don't like about the Epic Game Store, exclusivity issues with games that only appeared on the Epic Game Store. Definitely didn't strike some people the right way that were diehard Steam users. So having this opportunity, I think, was very important to bring people on, and it was successful. Now, like any other story where you're seeing crazy numbers like the streaming numbers that we saw yesterday regarding Twitch, Mixer, and all that, you have to still wonder, with everything going on in the world right now, how accurate would that have been if none of this had happened? But it is what it is. A lot of people are at home. A lot of people are looking to play some games. And when you're giving away AAA games, of course, you're going to see some success. But it looks like it went very well for them. And they also, they saw 13, like I said, 13 million average peak concurrent users. That's incredible. And it is worth noting that on Steam, they did set their own record with 23.5 million concurrent users. So overall, the Steam store is still the more popular option between the two. So there you go. Epic Game Store chugging right along. It's always good to have competition, with Steam being the only real game store in town besides some of the other kind of niche offerings. And finally, the Borderlands 3 team at Gearbox is giving you an in-game mask if you donate to COVID-19 relief. This is cool. It's been really neat throughout all this, seeing how all these different game developers have come together to offer ways to combat this pandemic. And this is one easy way to do it, right? I know a lot of people I've seen in games like Animal Crossing and all that have put if the game has a mask. I saw that a lot. They would put it on as just a kind of almost like a joke. Fallout 76, I saw it too. But with Borderlands 3, this is actually an opportunity where if you donate, you actually get an in-game mask for COVID-19 relief. You get a code when you donate at least $5 through gearboxloot.com, and you get a version of the disposable surgical masks that everybody is using. There it is. Actually looks pretty cool. It's like a steampunk surgical mask. I'm all about it. 100% of the proceeds raised will go to Direct Relief, which has a perfect 4-star score. So that's good. You know where the money's going, and hopefully that's a successful fundraiser. Again, always cool to see unique and interesting ways to help deal with these unprecedented times. Well, that's going to do it for today. As always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll have new gaming news coming to you daily. And until next time, that's the Biscuit. I'll see you later.